Hello everyone, we are back with another video. Today we'll be reviewing the Asus PhonePad 7 manufactured by Asus. This is a 7-inch tablet with 3G calling facility. Let's power up the device. Here it is. We just power up the device by using the button here, right? Here you can see this one, power button. The device is getting powered on. In this review, yeah, here you can see the device is up and it is pretty on. We'll try to focus it a bit. Yeah, as you can see that yeah, we can look at it at much better way as we have managed to change the focus of the device, right? Focus of the camera, sorry. Yeah, here you can see this is the front home screen of the Asus PhonePad 7. I haven't done anything to customize this home screen. This is basically the same as the default home screen which comes from Asus. As you can see, the device is already having a micro SIM. Here you can see this one, and we are also using the Wi-Fi connectivity for this device, right? Let's see. And initially we'll see how the device performs and how smooth it is and how it responds to our touch. And this, as you can see, the device seems pretty fast for these initial actions, right? This is not the default applications. I have installed few applications like Twitter, Facebook, and some news channel applications, right? Here you can see these are all the downloaded apps which do not come with the default applications. I have installed them on my own, right? So this screen is divided into three parts, as you can see here. This is the all, this is the downloaded tab, and this is the frequent tab, right? Apart from that, on the on the navigation bar, you will find four buttons. One is home screen, right? This is the home button. This is the recent tab buttons. At the moment, as we have started the device just now, so nothing comes there, right? Apart from that, this is the back button, and then this one gives you access to some pretty normal pretty apps which you can access. These are this basically is a customized button uh, which is available in this device, right? Now let's try to see the device hardware configuration. The best way to see that is we can see the AnTuTu benchmarks. Yeah, here you can see, if you go to device info, you can easily see what is the device info shows you, right? As you can see, the device brand is Asus. The model is K00E. This is the model number normally known as Asus PhonePad 7 for this particular. Basically, it's a single SIM device. Operating system is Android 4.2.2. So this device is running Android Jelly Bean 4.2.2, even though the latest version at this moment is Android 4.4. It is powered by a CPU of Intel Atom Z2560 of 1.6 GHz with a GPU render PowerVR SGX for 54 MP. In terms of resolution, as you can see, the devices comes with 800 by 1280 resolution, which is not basically full HD resolution, right? Here you can see the rear camera gives you 5 megapixel with a resolution of 2592 into 1944, right. Apart from that, at the moment the device is not rooted, so it is giving you a no root access, right. Apart from that, the device is powered by a 1 GB of RAM, and it is a dual core CPU. So you can see the number of CPU cores is shown as 2 cores, right, and the frequency varies from 800 to 1600 megahertz, right. uh, you can find many other things here. The battery at the moment is 100%, right. What else? The front camera, you can see 1.2 megapixel. Here it is 1.2 megapixel here. This one is a 1.2 megapixel front camera, and the back camera which we are talking just now was 5 megapixel. This is the rear camera. I'll just try to focus the rear camera. Yeah, here you can see this is the rear camera, 5 megapixel, right. The Android version again here is showing 4.2.2. Apart from that, the device comes with 3G connectivity. You can use your 3G. You can use your 3G SIM to get connected to the internet, or you can use the Wi-Fi connectivity. The Asus device comes with pretty customized version of this notification bar, where you can find easy access to some pretty common features, such as you can toggle Wi-Fi mobile data, or the rotation sound, GPS, airplane mode. This is a apart from this, smart saving mode is there, right. Smart saving mode is a customized version from Asus, which basically controls the battery consumption and gives you a better battery life by optimize the applications which are running on your device, right. The power saver mode comes with 3 options, which is this one is ultra saving mode, optimize mode, customize mode, right. If you want to customize this power saving mode, you can choose the customize mode and then select what you want during this customize mode, so that you can get access to everything that you need even when the power saving mode is on, right. But default option is optimize mode is good for your device. It will gives you a pretty good life, battery life, right. Apart from that, what else? We'll try to run some benchmarks, right. We already ran a benchmark test, right, and the benchmark test gives us a score of AnTuTu benchmark of 7980, right. If you go to details and let's see, we'll try to see if we can get a bar chart of this. We already saved this bar chart, so here it is, right. Yeah, as you can see, this is the benchmark test which we run, in which the score for this device comes out to be 17,980, which is pretty close to Sony Xperia Z and Samsung Galaxy S3, right. The device performs much better than Google Nexus 4, but it falls pretty much below compared to HTC One, Samsung Galaxy S4, right. Even Google Nexus 7 2013 version will just run a comparison to Google Nexus 7. Let's see, here it is, Google Nexus 7. We'll do a comparison, and here you can see the test scores of both the devices. Hopefully you can see the scores, right. The Google Nexus 7 2013 basically outperforms this Asus PhonePad 7 device in almost every area except except the RAM operation and RAM speed, where Asus PhonePad 7 performs better compared to Google Nexus 7 2013. And similarly, in terms of storage input output, Asus PhonePad 7 performs better than Google Nexus 7 2013, right? Here it is. Just for the sake of clarity, we'll run the benchmark test once again, right? So that you can see how it performs. We are running the AnTuTu X benchmarks, which test various parameters for the device. Maybe we can skip running because it will take pretty much time, right? We'll run another benchmark, that is quadrant benchmark. Run full benchmark. Let's see how it performs. This is the quadrant benchmark, which gives you pretty good scores for graphics. Quadrant benchmarks normally are used for testing the graphics performance, right? We are running this again, even though we already ran this test before doing this review, and the scores were pretty similar to what we saw on the AnTuTu one, right? Here also you can see the device is where, yeah, here you can see the device is pretty at the top. So here it is, your device. In terms of AnTuTu benchmarks, it outperforms even HTC One X, Motorola. Keep in mind, this is HTC One X, not the HTC One, right? So you should not be confused, right? So that's it. Maybe what else we can run? Let's have a look on the battery life, right? Uh, we were able to use this device for pretty, say, almost 2 days, for almost using full day at more than moderate uses, and on an average use you can get a much better battery life, right? So perhaps you won't be able to see the battery life which we used in last few days, because it shows you the recent one, right? So at the moment it's just 12 minutes of battery running, right? So it's no use to tell you, but it ran pretty good. The battery life is pretty decent. You can use it quite comfortably. The screen size of 7 inches is pretty good for holding. The weight is just 330 grams of, and so you can use this device for pretty long, yeah, yeah, with your hand. But if you are say using this device as a phone, then perhaps it's not recommended, because for a phone this 7-inch is pretty big. You cannot put this 7-inch device to your earpiece and you can talk comfortably on your network. So it's a pretty good tablet. You should be using it as a tablet and using the mobile connection of 3G or the 4G LTE network to get the connectivity and not as a phone. So that's it. uh, Hopefully we have covered everything. If you think we have missed anything, do not forget to inform us using the comment section below here, below this video. Thank you for watching this.